Hi, welcome to Irish Acres Apiary. What I want to do today is give you an idea of how our apiary is designed and why it's better for the bees and why it produces better honey. So now I want to show you how our hives are built. Okay, first of all, you can see this is very thick wood. It's 1.5 inches thick. It's pure cedar. And the reason these hives are built out of this heavy wood is because this kind of wood much more closely mimics the inside of a tree hollow where bees would naturally nest, and this thickness gives it good insulating value so the bees can overwinter much better. But now let's open it up. Now with the hive open, you can see how it's laid out, kind of like a piano in a sense. And instead of having to disturb the entire beehive, you only open those parts that you want to actually look at. And this means that the rest of the hive down here where the brood is can stay closed and protected and maintain its temperature without disturbing it. Whereas with the conventional beehive, when you open it up, you expose the entire beehive and you disrupt everything in the colony. Everyone is disturbed, and it's much more invasive to the bees than this method. So here we just open up the part of the hive we want to look at, and then we can pull out the individual frames. Now, as you can see, these frames are empty. And this is one of the things we also practice as part of our beekeeping, is that we do not use foundation in the frames. What we do have is just a little strip here at the top to help the bees get started in building their honeycomb, but we're not using sheets of plastic or sheets of wax from other apiaries that can possibly introduce diseases or bring impurities into the beehive. So after the bees have been in the hive for a while, they will build this out, and this will eventually become filled with honeycomb or with brood comb so that they're raising new bees and producing honey. You're only going to pull out one frame at a time as you need it, which is much easier on the beekeeper, especially for beekeepers who maybe have back trouble or are getting older, or even for disabled beekeepers. This is a really good method to use. So that's the essence of how the horizontal hive works. And now we're going to actually suit up in the beekeeper suit, and we're going to go to an active hive, and I'm going to show you how the bees are working at the entrance, and then we'll harvest a little bit of honey. Okay, so now we're going to actually open up a live hive, and we're going to hopefully harvest some honey. And now we're starting to see some active frames with lots of bees on them. Okay, now I can already see this first frame, they're building fresh honeycomb on it. Now this is brand new comb. They're still building it, so they haven't actually started filling it with any honey. But you can see the bees working here all along the edge, and they're going to eventually fill this frame up with beautiful fresh honeycomb. Okay, now look at this frame. Now this frame does have a lot of honey in progress. Up here at the top, you see it's already capped. And then down in here, this is honey that they put the nectar in, and now they're drying it to make it actual honey. The bees have to fan it and dry it down for some time before it becomes real honey. But once it gets down to about 17.5% moisture, that's when they'll cap it, and you can see that going on all through here. So again, this is a honeycomb that's still very much in progress, but there's going to be a lot of honey in this hive a little bit later in the year. And so this is still not quite yet ready to harvest. But you can see that there's going to be a lot of honey. This frame probably weighs about 4 pounds right now. So we'll very gently put it back in place. Try not to hurt any bees in the process. And basically, if you're good to them, they'll be good to you.